So far, when we define quantity supplied and state the law of supply, we assume that all other factors that may influence quantity supplied are constant. We only change the price of the product. But what happens to quantity supplied if there is change in other factors? The discussion of change in quantity supplied and change in supply will be suitable to understand this. What is change in quantity supplied? Just recall the change in quantity demanded. When demand for a product changes due to the change in price, remaining other determinants of demand fixed, it is called change in quantity demanded. Similarly, when we talk about change in quantity supplied, we assume that all other factors that may influence quantity supplied are fixed. We only change the price. That is, the change in supply of a product due to the change in its price, remaining other factors fixed, is called change in quantity supplied. We can explain change in quantity supplied using a figure. In figure, we are measuring the price of a product along the vertical axis and its quantity supplied is measured along the horizontal axis. Consider the point A, where price of the product is P1, at which Q1 amount of the product is sold. If we move from A to B, price increases from P1 to P2 and quantity supplied of the product also rises from Q1 to Q2. Joining these 2 points, we can get the supply curve S1. Here, when we move from A to B, quantity supplied rises from Q1 to Q2 due to the rise in price from P1 to P2, not due to the change in other factors. Here we consider all other factors are fixed. The change comes to the supply of the product is due to the change in price, not due to the other factors. Therefore, it is change in quantity supplied. So, we can say change in quantity supplied occurs due to the change in price. And in this case, we move along the same supply curve from one point to another point. As you see in the figure, due to the change in quantity supplied, we move from point A to point B. Now, let us see what is change in supply. While quantity supplied of a product changes due to the change in price, remaining other factors fixed, we call it change in quantity supplied. But in case of change in supply, change comes to other factors, not in price. That is, remaining the price fixed when supply of a product changes due to the change in other factors like input price, it is called change in supply. Let us return to the figure again. In figure, at point A, price of the product is P1 and quantity supplied is Q1. Remaining the price fixed at P1, if prices of inputs fall, it will reduce the cost of production of the producer. And as price is fixed, producers will get a greater profit margin, which will motivate them to produce more. Production will increase from Q1 to Q2, and we shall move from A to C. The movement from A to C is not due to the change in price. Here price is fixed at P1, but this movement occurs due to the change in other factors, specifically due to the fall in inputs price. So movement from A to C is change in supply, and our new supply curve will be S2. Therefore, when there is change in supply, it means there is change in other factors and it causes a shift in the supply curve either to the right or to the left. Here we observe a rightward shift in the supply curve.